They just miss a lot for me. They miss too much. I mean, I don't know. Like, when you watch that much film, I think with film, like, you shouldn't be missing that much, in my opinion. I don't know, but you guys tell me. Maybe
yeah. Well, no. Basically, Matt, like, there's a lot of people who are just like, oh,
yeah, the Herbert hype. I mean, what did you guys see? That's like
the Herbert hype.
Just curious what your thought. Curious what your thoughts on Herbert.
Well, I mean, I just think he's a little inaccurate, and I mean, you saw it in this game. I mean, he missed some throws that he should have made. The pick was behind. He threw another one behind Jared Cook. The play that he missed on the throw that he missed against the Chargers, against the football team. It was he had a dude wide open. He just missed the throw, and it was a bad pick. Yeah. I mean, he's got more picks than touchdowns right now. Like, but you would never think that.
Yeah, we were talking. Yeah,
when you were talking about him, you wouldn't think about it. Like this is they were talking about last week that he played one of the, like, he looked like he was like one of the greatest QBs to do it last week, and like they didn't throw downfield. Yeah, that was crazy.
I didn't see all that. I saw people like talking about him a little bit. I didn't see much of it about like hype from him last week, but yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, they were hyping him up, bro. They were hyping him up last week because he made that honey hole throw.
That's right. Yeah,
they're hyping him.
Why do you call that the honey hole? I've never heard that before.
You never heard it? That's what they call it all the time.
Something just creeps me out about that one. I don't know. I don't like the
honey hole, bro.
Just a whole shot. Okay, that's all you have to say.
It's a whole shot. It's a whole shot to the honey hole.
To the honey hole. Okay.
I never heard of that until recently. That's the spot between the corner and the second half, right? Yeah. I saw someone say that. I'm like, I've never fucking heard of this shit. And then I heard like 5 more people say it. I'm like, all right, I guess it's the fucking honey hole.
The honey hole, bro.
I'm like, I'm like, BD, I just said whole shot, like a cover 2 whole shot. Like, I feel like most people know what that is.
Yeah, it's a cover 2 whole shot to the honey hole.
Why use not just when few word do trick?
I guess so. Hey guys, so we're live. Anyone want to kick it off?
So everybody, we are live. It is Tape Don't Lie. We got our special guest Matt Holder here. You guys already know what to do. Subscribe. Like, dislike, whatever. Hopefully the Steelers fans come back. Where they at this week? Let's see where the Steelers guys are talking crap in the comments. See if they're here this week. Let's see if they came back after this game. But you guys are going to do subscribe. You see this on iTunes. Make sure you subscribe there. We had a big win, guys. Big win. Win in the Pittsburgh early morning game on the road in a hostile environment, and pulled it out, and pretty convincingly, in my opinion. I thought it was a pretty convincing win. It wasn't that close of a game as the score seemed, but it was definitely a convincing win. So we're excited, guys. Make sure you follow us on Twitter too. Is it M Holder 95?
M Holder 95.
M Holder 95.
We're gonna get it down at one point.
Yeah, we'll get it down. And then at BD Williams 18, and of course me at the Mark John NFL. So what'd you guys think of the game? What'd you guys think?
First reaction really was like you're saying, it's a road early morning game, East Coast technically. A lot of things that this team hasn't done well in the past. And not did they just like play well enough to win. I feel like it was pretty convincing. They were beating this team from first quarter on the rest of the game, Yeah. So it was a convincing win. It wasn't just like one that they eked out. So gotta love that. Just that alone, that's the initial reaction. What about you, Matt?
Yeah, I mean, it's the same as you guys. Like Marcus, you touched on it. 26-17 doesn't really paint the whole picture, but that's kind of how you dominate the Steelers. You know what I mean? Like, Steelers are a really good defense. Putting up 26 points on that defense is pretty damn impressive. And I mean, they talked about it on the telecast or on the broadcast when they were talking about the defense. Like, it just looks like a completely new group up front. Like, they're winning in pass rush all the time. They dominated, I thought, again in the trenches. I mean, I'm trying to look at the Steelers stats here. Let's see what they had rushing the ball. Let's see, 39 yards, 2.8 a carry.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it was, like you said, all out dominate. I think there was maybe 5 minutes of game time that the Raiders were losing in the second quarter there when the Steelers were up 7-6. So dominate.
It was a pretty dominant performance. I thought they looked really good, pretty much all around. I think the run game, of course, it's not looking good right now, but they were able to run the ball at the end of the game. And I think with this line, And what we kind of saw at the end of the game with some of the runs is they went to power. They went pure power. They're doing like, they're pulling. It's a play called long trap. They pull and they that's why they're getting runs. And I think they might have to switch it up and, start to, try to, keep moving, running the football that way with the power run game, because I don't think the outside zone is working right now. And then John Simpson, he's such a big mover. That's why he was killing people on that last drive. And that's why, because, they're starting to get that run game going where, they're getting to the power instead of, being finessed with the zone. So I think that's kind of the move they have to do with the run game. But, everywhere else, Carr was terrific. They're getting the ball to everybody. They're passing the ball around. He's basically doing what he wanted to do back there. And, the offensive line was holding up well enough, I think they performed well enough. And I want to give a shout out to Brandon Parker. Brandon Parker came in and we didn't hear anything about him after that. After he came in, we didn't hear a word about him. So I haven't gone back and watched it yet. But he came in and he did his job, bro. So, if Leatherwood's down, go ahead, man.
I was just going to say, I thought he played better than Leatherwood. I mean, we saw Leatherwood in the first half was kind of like the same thing as we saw on Monday night. He kind of struggled in pass protection, had that hold that took off a touchdown. And then, like you said, Brandon Parker went in and that was the last thing we heard about him. And as an offensive lineman, that's a perfect game, right? Yeah.
And I know TJ Watt went down, but I mean, Brandon Parker still went in there and he was legit, bro. So I'm really excited about him, because everybody's worried about the swing tackle. And we saw it happen and he came in and, kind of, dropped those fears. So.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like you said, go ahead, Biggie.
If I can just jump in, like I'm hearing a lot of people who like to play devil's advocate. They go, okay, wait, Raiders did this. They scored 26 points, but this defense was down Hayden, it was down Watt, it was down Bush. Quite a few impact players. So, what would your reaction be to that?
I mean, the Raiders are down at their line. I mean, there are two backup guards at line. Josh Jacobs is out. Right. So they couldn't run the ball. They got injuries too. Casey Hayward went down in this game. So I mean, I don't want to hear it, to be honest. I mean, everybody got injuries. So
like you touched on it with the offensive line, there's still Cam Hayward. I mean, Tyson all ended up going out, still have Wormley. I mean, this is still a really good defense. Granted, the DBs were a little bit banged up after without Joe Hayden and whatnot. But I mean, this is still like a very good defense. Is still a very good, defensive philosophy that they have going on in Pittsburgh. And I mean, as far as pass rushers go, they don't have any shortage of that. Alex Highsmith's a really good pass rusher. I don't think he did anything. And I think Colton Miller shut him down. And then Melvin Ingram, like I said, as soon as Parker came into the game, I didn't see anything or hear anything from Melvin Ingram either. So, I mean, that's the biggest thing is this is not a Steelers defense that lacked depth. So even with the injuries, I think it's still impressive.
100%, bro. 100%.
Yeah, I definitely think that the most impressive thing was just like, okay, Josh Jacobs is down, so we're going to pass the ball, and we're going to pass the ball a lot. I know that they ran in key situational times.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, hold on. But then also they were just opening it up down the field. They were, like you're saying, Marcus, they were hitting that seam, right?
Yeah.
So what did you guys see from the wide receivers in this game?
Well, I mean, they were working at me. I mean, Brian Edwards was getting open. He had a nice catch on the dig, pure hands on the dig route, the Yankee that they ran. So that's where they need to use him, keep him on the digs. Ruggs was being used underneath and on digs and on different areas, and then they hit him with the deep ball. It was like they kind of caught him off guard because they I don't know, I don't have the all 22 yet, so I don't know how much they sent him deep, but it was interesting to me that, they were using him a lot underneath. And then when they hit the deep shot, it was there. You know what I mean? Like there was nobody over the top for that. They weren't ready for it. You know what I mean? It's like they sunk, they made the safeties kind of, trust the short stuff. And then they hit him over the top. So I really liked how they used to work. Go ahead, man.
I was just saying on that touchdown, like you're talking about, they had, that you could tell the Steelers were trying to game plan to take away Waller. I mean, surprise. And like they had like Minka Fitzpatrick sucking up on that, and that opened up Waller or Ruggs on the dig.
Yeah.
I mean, I touched on it last week. Last week we talked about Darren Waller having 19 targets, nobody else having 10. Well, this week it was the opposite story. No one else had 10. 3 guys, Ruggs, Waller, and Renfro all had 7. Drake had 6, and then Edwards with 3. I mean, like that was exactly what I wanted to see. I talked about it on the show last week. I even wrote about it on the website too.
Yeah.
Of like, the Raiders can't have this one, Ruggs and Edwards not going to catch till 5 minutes left. And that was a completely different story. They righted their wrong. And I mean, That's what I always love to see with the Raiders too, is like even when they win, they're still fixing the stuff that they need to do. And I feel like that's the sign of a good team, a team that can keep moving forward and keep making adjustments. So
yeah.
I was extremely happy with the wideouts. Go ahead.
Yeah. Me too, man. And on that last play, that touchdown, I mean, that really play was all Carr, because he actually moved me. He kept Minka there. He actually pump faked to Waller too. Like he pumped to Waller, so it kept Minka there. And then he hit him over the top. Like that was all him. And I talked about it on the previous show, was eye manipulation. Like this team they follow the quarterback's eyes, and they played the same defense they did against the Bills. So I think that's the defense they're playing this year. So that was interesting too. But BD, what'd you think about the defense, man?
You talking about Raiders defense?
Yeah, Raiders defense.
Okay, we can move on to Raiders defense.
Yeah.
You know, we knew that the Steelers were going to come in and they were going to throw the ball on the outside and take deep shots, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's what they did against the Bills. That's what they did against the Raiders. Biggest thing, I know a lot of people are up on the pass rush right now. I think there's a lot of hustle there. Like they're not dying.
True.
Right, like they're going to keep on coming until the ball is out of the quarterback's hands. And I think that is putting a lot of harassment. Like I would like to see the occasional just like quick win, flash sack that only took like 2 seconds for it to happen. You'd like to see some more of that happening, I think, and then that's when this pass rush is really going to take the next step. But in the secondary, tons of ball production from the corners. Oh my goodness, all these guys. Arnett even got in with a little pass breakup at the end. Obviously, Hayward, he had like 3 pass breakups today, and then Mullins out there with the interception. I think he had a separate pass breakup too. So it's just like just an incredible amount of ball production from these corners out there. And honestly, like I haven't seen a game like that from the Raiders the entire time I've been charting them. And I didn't even chart. I'm just going off the broadcast right now, so there might be a few more hidden in there. Like this was a fantastic game. So I'm really excited about the secondary, honestly, at least, going up against this quarterback.
Yeah. They were tested, bro. And then they showed up, and you really like that. You really like that. I mean, even Arnett had a pass breakup. I know he had that big play to chase Claypool, which was a push off, but that was whatever. But he had a nice breakup too. I mean, so they all look good, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think with the pass rush, like one of the things like BD definitely talked on, and I think both of Solomon Thomas's sacks, at least one of them was a coverage sack. But I mean, at the end of the day, those guys, a guy like that's the guy that you want to see at least having the motor or whatnot if he's going to bring something to the table. But I mean, I definitely felt like what's his name, Yannick Ngakoue was not quite himself. I felt like he was still kind of, you could tell he was a little bit gimpy, not quite as fast. But I felt like Max Crosby had another big game too. I mean, he early in the game, he was getting pressure. I felt like he kind of disappeared a little bit towards the end, but I mean, he ended up with 5, I'm looking at the stats on ESPN, 5 QB hits. He was all over Big Ben today. So, and I think 3 of them came in like the first 3 drives. So
they got the Dolphins coming up next week, bro.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And without Tua too. So it seems like.
There you go. Wait, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
I was going to talk about Carl Nassif. I think Nassif had a great game too. I think Nassif is he's definitely playing up to that contract. I mean, he actually took less money. He got to restructure. He didn't take less money. He just got to restructure it to a signing bonus. But he's making people who are mad about that contract. He's living up to it now. So he's had 2 good games in a row.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just impressed. Like I was saying before. The hustle from this group,
oh, did we lose him?
Did we lose?
I think we lost.
I was worried it was my internet for a second. I'm like, oh no.
Me too, bro. That's how you move.
They're going to be, some of these guys are going to suck. This game's going to suck, right? Like they're not,
You cut out the whole time. You're going to have to repeat that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
People on live are like, what the hell is going on here? Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me
check.
Did we cut out
the
connection?
Did we cut out?
No, you didn't.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All I'm saying is the hustle from the defensive line looked really good. These guys are coming in waves, and quarterbacks who are going to watch these guys on film, they're going to see this defensive line and be like, wow, this game's going to suck. Like these guys aren't letting off the gas at all. So I think that's the most impressive part from the defensive line, at least that.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's everything's encouraging, bro. All these plays are encouraging, and the Steelers are a really good team. I know people are going to try to act like maybe the Steelers aren't good now because the Raiders beat them, but nah, man, that's a good team, bro. They stomped the Bills last week. I mean, they didn't stomp the Bills, but
yeah,
they controlled that offense, right? And then the Bills went up and put 35 on the Dolphins, so that's a good team, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny you said that. Like, I went on a couple Pittsburgh podcasts this week, just whatnot, and people were like, "Oh, you asked me." Like, I got the question, like, was this the Raiders being good or the Ravens just being as bad as we thought they were? I'm like, who the hell thought the Ravens were going to be bad going into Monday Night Football? Like,
Steelers fans.
They were the favorite. Like, yeah, Steelers fans. Exactly.
Steelers fans. Yeah, it's like a Chargers guy coming on our show. I would give him crap too. So I don't.
Yeah. Like,
so.
Yeah. But yeah, it is funny that you bring that up. It's like, yeah, I bet now it's like, oh, Steelers are the Steelers legit, or is it that 1-4 team that we saw at the end of last year? Now that's gonna be the talk of the week.
Yeah. It's what is wrong with the Steelers offense? That's gonna be the talk of the week, bro. I'm telling you. And it was like that last week when they beat the Ravens too. I mean, you heard how bad Lamar Jackson played when he didn't even play bad. So, I mean, all they talked about was like, oh, is Lamar Jackson can't throw. And it was like, they act like he threw like under 50% last week and he did it. So, I mean, you're going to hear the same thing this week. They're going to downplay the Steelers. Or the Steelers really good, whatever. So,
gotcha.
All right. And
I think
you're on mute, Bureau.
Okay. Yeah. I got to unmute myself. The defense is banged up. But that's a good defense. Okay. The offense for the Steelers is not good. So,
yeah.
Ravens would beat the Steelers straight up. Like, no, this offense is no good. So I'm sorry. Once again, their two biggest plays. What happens? They're just taking shots on the outside and pushing off the entire time. They're gonna do it until they get it called on them. So more power to them. But like, it's not a sustainable model. The majority of your drives having to like be fade balls to the outside. It's just two freak plays happening for the Raiders defense. I'm pretty encouraged that they showed up and dominated this defense or this Pittsburgh Steelers offense the way they did.
Yeah. It was a good showing. I want to talk about the Steelers, the refs with the Steelers. I talked about that in the preview about how they're they get the most calls. And they got some BS calls, bro. I mean, how did they not flag on the car play? Like, how did that not get a flag? Like, you got hit in the legs.
I didn't even think of that. Yeah, because that's too low, right?
Yeah.
It should have been on the kickoff.
Not on the kickoff, on the
or roughing the passer. Roughing the passer.
When we had the touchdown throw, and it was super late too.
Yeah,
it was weird. And then they called roughing on Ben Roethlisberger. Like, it was good thing they got out of there without getting some cheap pass interference calls. So I was worried about that.
Yeah, I mean, also, was there a hold? Was the ref attributing a hold to someone else besides Leatherwood, because that was not a hold?
It wasn't a hold.
So,
I mean, Leatherwood kind of olayed, but like,
I would hear your argument on that one better if Leatherwood didn't get beat. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's if you don't get beat and like it's like the defensive lineman's like bringing it like going or working to the inside or whatever, you get a cheap call. Like, I can see it, but when you get beat, like it's hard to battle back.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, maybe it's like, okay, he got beat bad. So the ref is seeing, he's going to need to reach out for him. And he's just like thinking, okay, well, he's holding if he's doing that. But Leatherwood didn't do that on that play, at least. I mean, he barely touched the guy. So how could it be a hold? But anyways,
this is true.
Exactly. That's what I was saying. He basically olayed. I didn't know how he just kind of just let the guy go.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like. But anyways.
Yeah. So questionable officiating. Despite questionable officiating, despite an early start on the East Coast, road team, okay, despite, having some issues, like they're having some drives that are just like falling apart because of the snap, because some false starts, things like that. They're just like punching themselves or kicking themselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
They still handily won this game, right? So, like, come on. A lot of times we'd see these things in the past have a snowball effect and just like derail the team's chance.
Yeah.
And this year it's like, no, we're doing this. Go ahead.
Kind of on that point, the one thing I wanted to touch on too is like, I feel like with like Derek Carr, like what are we talking about? Inconsistency to put 2 games in a row, struggles to win on the road, won a big game on the road like you said, on an East Coast kick.
Mm-hmm.
Needs the situation to be perfect around him. 3 offensive linemen out. still went out and balled out.
Yeah.
Needs great receivers. We saw last week the receivers course. I mean, they looked a lot better today, obviously.
Yeah.
So last week the receiving corps not that great. And what did he do? He just came out and balled out. I think we got to tip our caps to him. He's a guy that, I know I've been hard on in the past, and I mean, he had a hell of a game today. He put together 2 really good games. I mean, what he had, they showed a stat at the end. He's got like over 900 yards, like for the first time in his career after 2 games. Like that's unreal. And like, it was like some sort of historical NFL stat. I mean, I got to give the guy a ton of credit right now. Like you said, like battling back from that injury too, coming back. And I mean, didn't look like he missed a beat, and he had a hell of a game again.
Yeah, he was hurt too, man. Because when he threw that touchdown, he went to go hug Gruden. He was limping when he was running.
Yeah,
he was hurt, bro. He was hurt pretty bad. I think,
and I think he was trying to mask like how hurt he was. Like he was down on the ground for a while, and like you said, like that was like he got straight up rolled up on his ankle. Like I was legitimately worried about him being out. I thought it was almost Nate Pete time, guys. But
me too, bro.
Yeah, I think he's definitely going to be. I feel like he's not going to practice on Wednesday, or at least, you know what I mean. Like he's going to take Wednesday, maybe even Thursday off. So, yeah.
Here's the thing: if you're a quarterback guy and you get some kind of like soft tissue injury in your lower body or something like that, okay, if you can walk, like you can play. Straight up.
Basically, I know.
So it doesn't really matter. Sprained ankle. All these guys are getting rolled up on each and every week. Like everyone has an ankle, a knee, something or other. A toe. So like, take a shot of Toradol and get back out there just like everyone else.
What I want to say, I mean, Carr. What I saw on tape for the Ravens game when I watched the Ravens game is, I saw the tough guy from 2016 from Carr, because when Carr was really good in 2016, he really wasn't that like a great quarterback. Like he wasn't like with quarterback play, like how you naturally do things. He was just a tough dude who just clutched, right? So when the Raiders kept the games close, he would just be super tough. But now we're seeing the mixture of both. We're seeing the mind of Derek Carr, where he's moving guys with his eyes. He's trying to do things with, manipulate coverages. He's doing things in the pocket we never really seen him do before. And we're seeing the mind mixed with the toughness. And if that happens, bro, it's going to be a good season for sure. Yeah.
Okay. Any other topics we want to hit on, guys?
No, I'm good, bro. I'm good.
Okay.
I have one that's not tape related, not game related, but it got me thinking with the 10 o'clock kick. I'm curious, out of the two, BD, one for you. So the early kick and the afternoon kick, which do you prefer to watch the Raider game on Sunday? Non-prime time.
Non-prime time.
You have a preference between you either get the game over with early, or you kind of wait and like have that like full day and whatnot. I guess it's a little bit different for you being on the West Coast or being on the East Coast.
Yeah,
on the
East Coast, on the East Coast is different for sure. Like the 4 o'clock game, I could just like get all my errands done. I could grocery shop. I could do everything I need to do. I'm back home 4 o'clock, watching the Raiders play. That's I think a little bit more manageable when it's right smack dab in the middle of the day. You gotta. When do I take the kids, to the park or something like that? I got to manage my time a little bit better. So I prefer the 4 o'clock, but you guys are on the West Coast. So what do you think?
I'm 10 o'clock all day, bro.
Get it over with. Yeah.
Get it over with. I'm 10 o'clock all day, bro. Let me know how I'm going to feel. Yeah.
Especially for me with like the Raiders in the past, it's like just rip the Band-Aid off. I just want to get this over with, get on with my Sunday.
For sure.
Yeah. No, I'm 100% 10 o'clock. Yeah. I wake up, just watch the game. Then I have my, obviously I'm gonna check out the other ones too, but I have the rest of the night day to do whatnot. But I see that from BD's perspective, right in the middle at freaking 1 o'clock in the day. I guess it's the same thing we have for the afternoon game. So it makes sense. But,
yeah, for sure.
Nice.
All right. I think that's it though.
All right, fellas.
All right, guys. Appreciate everyone for tuning in. We appreciate you guys. This is the Pig Don't Lie podcast. We're joined by Matt Holder. You can follow him at Twitter or on Twitter at mholder95. You could follow Marcus Johnson. He's the offense guy, part of Tape Don't Lie at the Mark John NFL. This is myself, BD Williams. We out, Raider Nation. We appreciate you. Later.
Peace.
You guys.